The other reason I will reach beside the school timetable to suit the situation.
Okay. What about you, Abdallah? Abdallah, what about you? What will you do? Abdallah,
Sir, please, what is the question?
is that?
The question.
Oh, but the
I
question
can
is
only,
there. Oh, it means you didn't read it.
no, this there, which of the following, but there should be a question before you choose something.
I gave you the scenario before I show you the question.
Uh-huh.
You see it now.
Yes, sir.
So if you are finished reading, then answer. Can you answer now?
Okay. I will appeal to the parents to send the learners on errands after school hours, having explained to them the importance of schooling, or they bringing the awards to school, and the negative effects of lateness to school. I will take my time, explain to them, educate them, and sensitize them properly.
So for you, you will not run away. You will not ask for transfer.
No, sir.
And you will not punish them for coming to school late.
No, before I've already noticed what is causing the lateness. So why should I be punishing? I will only rather find a means of solving the problem.
Will your solution include?
I'm taking D, and then you will introduce interesting. Then I will also
Very interesting activities in the
I
classroom, which
will
will
also
self-motivate learners.
see the C.
So you do the C.
Yes. Also,
What about the D? The D is what you said first.
yes, the C and the D. I will go for those two. Then
Then add yours.
in my own small way, if the parents are not trying to understand them, sacrificially, I will find a time to attend to the children uh, when they will be free, so that they can catch up with their colleagues.
So it means you are going to organize extra classes for them.
Yes.
Hey, do you have that time, my brother?
Sometimes you can get the
Why are
time.
you
This is
stopping
a
somebody
village.
to do the right thing?
This is a village. This is a village. So
Shall I look for transfer and run for your life?
Uh, Okay, so whatever you do, it will tell whether you are an effective teacher or not. I will explain about it. So who is an effective teacher? Okay. Who is an effective teacher?
Yes,
Look at
sir.
the definition we have of effective teaching. So we are saying that teaching and learning are two different functions. And the process of teaching being carried out by one person who is the teacher, while the process of learning is carried out by the learner, which we call the student. But in the primary school, we usually use pupil. So depending on the level of the student and the name you want to use. So for the teaching learning process to work effectively, there must be connection between these two people that we are talking about. I mean the teacher and the learner, or the instructor and the learner. There should be a connection or a bridge between the two. Hence, the teacher needs special communication skills to be able to help this child to primarily involve himself to become an effective person. So we say that the teacher needs special communication skills, primarily involving talking, to be effective in making these connections. So, according to Rosenstein and Fast, 1973, they reviewed several studies and identified 5 characteristics of an effective teaching, which is associated with gains in student achievement. Meaning that if we say a teaching is effective, it must have positive effects or positive impact on the students. In Ghana system, they should be able to score because that is the only way we are able to grade our students. Sometimes the teacher may be very effective and very good teacher, but because of our kind of examination, and if the child is not able to chew, pour, and pass, we don't see that effectiveness playing its role. But no matter what, once effective teaching is done, it will reflect in the child's ability to answer questions. So these are the characteristics. There are 5 of them. 1, that teacher is enthusiastic. That teacher is business-like and task-oriented. That teacher is clear when presenting instructional content. And that teacher uses a variety of instructional materials and procedures. Then finally, according to First and Rosenstein, that teacher provides opportunities for students to learn the instructional content. To Smith, he says to be effective, he suggested 4 areas of knowledge. And he said the teacher must have a command of theoretical knowledge about learning and human behavior. So that teacher must prepare on command of theoretical knowledge about learning and human behavior. You must have command to control or have a control of technical skills of teaching that student, which will facilitate learning. So if you don't have the technique to teach, to facilitate learning, and you don't have that technical control, Smith doesn't see you to be an effective teacher doing effective teaching. And so you must display attitude that foster learning and genuine human relationships. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
We are there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, an effective teaching looks at an effective teacher who is the one to demonstrate the ability to bring about intended learning goals. He demonstrates the ability to bring out intended learning goals. And the two critical dimensions of effective teaching, which is being intent and achievement. If you want to do effective teaching, two things is what we look for: your intent and what you achieve at the end of the day. Without intent, the student achievements become random and accidental rather than controlled and predictable. Intent means you have planned that I'm going to teach A, B, C, D. And at the end of the day, the student will be able to achieve A, B, C, D. But if you don't have any intention, you teach anything, and what the student will achieve will be random and sometimes not predictable. So that's what we mean by intent. So without intent, the student achievement become random and accident rather than controlled and predictable. And without achievement of his intended learning goals, the teacher cannot truly be called an effective teacher. So an effective teacher must have an intention and must have a goal for his student to achieve. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what are the characteristics of an effective mathematics teacher? The quality of an effective mathematics teacher may be difficult to measure. However, that teacher must be warm and have a sense of humor. That teacher must have competency and a desire to learn mathematics and to teach using new mathematical knowledge and teaching strategies. That makes you an effective mathematics teacher. It means you must be updated and abreast with current way of teaching. C, you must be devoted to the profession. And D, you must be able to create a conducive learning atmosphere for your teaching and try to use real-life mathematical activities to communicate knowledge. Now, when we talk about conducive learning, we emphasize student-centered instruction or the constructivism approach, where the teacher is a facilitator and learning is orchestrated by the learners themselves. So you, the teacher, you guide them. The teacher must be excited about learning and doing mathematics. Otherwise, you cannot expect students to do so. Your attitude and enthusiasm count greatly as a teacher. And finally, an effective mathematics teacher, you must believe in yourself and believe also in your students. If you don't believe in yourself and don't believe in your students, you cannot be an effective math teacher. All right. Let's look at the maxims of teaching. Any questions so far? Bye-bye. Yes. Any questions so far? No questions.
No, sir. Let's continue.
Okay. All right. Any question on the maxims? Let me find out what is a maxim. Peter, Tanya will be. Piero,
Yes, sir.
what is a maxim?
So I would say maxim is the principles of teaching.
Good. Peter Bafo, what do you ask? Okay, Peter Bafo is the one who answered.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, I'm talking about Peter Tanyo. Tanya Woyi. Yes.
Yes, sir. They are
Mhm.
the
What is
guidelines a
maxim?
teacher. They are the guidelines a teacher follows to ensure effective teaching and learning.
Okay. So they are the principles, guidelines, or the general rules of conduct. So when you are a math teacher, your maxim should be that one, start where the student is. Don't start at where they are not. You start teaching where the students are. So maxims of teaching are general principles or guidelines that teachers follow to ensure effective teaching and learning. We were told that we teach from the known to unknown. Here we are saying start from where the child is. Begin instruction at the student's current level of understanding. 2, know your students. Understand their strengths and weaknesses, interests and learning styles. Make teaching and learning meaningful. Connect new knowledge to real life. Connect it to prior experiences. Use life situations to explain. Don't make teaching abstract. Find X, find X, find X. Now we have found President Mahama, who was our ex-president. He has come back, so we have found X. Trump has also come back. We have found X, so math teachers, don't be finding X. Where X stands for the tomatoes, so find the price of the tomatoes. So relate the X to real life situation. Make it meaningful. And in fact, break down complex concepts into smaller and manageable parts. Keep it simple. These are the maxims. Practice makes man perfect. Therefore, give them more work to exercise on. That is why last week I gave you some work. You have a question?
Yes, sir.
Ask.
Sir, please, I happen to teach at the JHS, but I found out that the learners who were promoted from class 6 to J1, they were lacking some foundational skills like adding, dividing, subtracting, and then dividing. So
And
it
multiplication.
made, yes, it made it very difficult to teach the higher concepts, like what they are supposed to do at the JHS1.
Mm-hmm.
I reported the case to my head, and then he said that when they were at class 6, they had differentiated learning, so you don't see what to do again. And it is said that at the JHS, we go for period. When it is mass period, then you go and teach. There is no other time that we can meet the children to address with those problems. So it's a challenge to me. So I'm asking, as you said, that we should start teaching from known to unknown. And my learners are lacking these foundational skills. Like teaching pie chart, for instance, is one of their course, the form ones. So before they can draw a pie chart, they need to make some divisions to find the angles of which they can draw the pie chart. So now it's a problem to me. So how will you help me to address that?
Okay, who will help our sister? Anybody? Gilbert, Owusu.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, my sister, I think we have remediations activities. So looking at your issue, it's like after class, there's another teacher coming because it's Saturday teaching in JHS. So in your case, I think during break, or 2 or 3 students who can come around, maybe within 5 minutes or 5 minutes to 10 minutes, you can engage them and explain things further to them, for them to get to know the unknown, what they were supposed to know in class that they don't know. You can start from that, and maybe break time. You can engage some few learners, maybe 5. I don't know the class size, but you can engage with 5, at least 5, during break time, so that there will be a that. Other
Okay.
than that,
So what I will
I
say is
think
that thank you, my brother. That's good. So in preparing your lesson, now that you know the weakness and the strength of your students, if you are going to teach sets, then go back, start the first, second objective with those in classes objectives. Cover that one before you add the JHS one. Is that okay?
Yes,
Even
sir.
though
Okay, sir.
it may retard your movement with regards to what the curriculum demands you to teach them at that level. But trust you me, if they're able to get the basis, the rest will be easier for you. If you don't get back to what they're supposed to know, and you continue with what they do not know, because the foundation is weak, it's just like building. If you build on a weak foundation, it will fall down. So make sure you make the foundation strong. It means that you will need more time to be able to catch up with the topics in DHS1. So you create time. If you
Thank
can
you, sir.
ask them
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
that remediation, or after school, if you can spend 30 minutes or 1 hour with them, and with all this, you'll be able to catch up with them. Or if the children are well to do and you can, the parent talk to the parents and they will see the need for you to spend extra time in the evenings, maybe between 4 to 5. Then you do that for them. And if they appreciate you with a penny, the teacher will also laugh. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, I have a little
Hello,
contribution
sir.
to make, sir.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Sir, per what my sister has just brought on board, I think recently it's a general problem for all of us as math teachers. The basics
Okay.
are not known. And it's really a challenging thing because the simple 3 divide 2, the children cannot perform. So most of the times, what you have prepared to go in and teach, you actually end up teaching something different. So just like you advised, I will equally say the same because there are certain topics if you want to teach, you have to go back and teach a particular topic first before you can come to the main topic. If not,
Exactly.
whatever you be doing is just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because if they cannot perform division and you are going to do pie chart, it's a waste of time. When you get there, they'll be sitting there. They cannot perform. So my sister, like Master has advised, you go back, teach one, if it is a one period, use that whole period to teach them the division first or the multiplication. Then when you get extra time, then you teach them your main topic. It will help you to be able to realize your goal. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello,
So,
sir.
so
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I also want
I want to also add. Sometimes to Madam should identify the class. There may be a smart student within the class.
Good.
Sometimes maybe the language that we use sometimes are above the students that they are unable to grasp the concept. So Madam should identify one of the smart students in the class who can assist the other colleagues, because when they learn among themselves, there's no that kind of fear and other things. So I think Madam should try and then identify one smart student who can also be of a help to the class. That is my contribution.
Good. Now, not only one smart student, you may get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4
Definitely.
who are fast. So you put them into groups, and those basic things that they don't know, you give it to them as project work in groups. And those who are good will be helping those who do not know, so that when you even starting from there, it becomes easier and faster. Okay? Good. And you have to be flexible as a teacher. Adapt instruction to meet diverse needs and unexpected challenges. Like what our sister just said, these are unexpected challenges. She thought they should know this. I'm coming to teach this, and you spark, the car is not sparking. So encourage active learning. That is, bring in the students who are good, engage them in students in hands-on activities, discussions, problem solving. Then when you give them work, provide feedback when they have submitted their work to you, and offer constructive criticism, not just criticize, but offer constructive guidance and criticism to promote growth. If a child who is always scoring 0 scores 1, that they give the child very good. If that child scores 3/5, excellent. You always want to see 5/5 before you score excellent. Somebody who has been scoring 0 today scores 3. And you want to say average. Sure, excellent. So you as a teacher too, you must be a lifelong learner, because sometimes your methodology you are using is outdated. So you try to update yourself and use current things. These days, technology is all around us, and children are very good in this area. So if you're able to use that to teach them, they're able to get it. Create supportive environment also for them. Environment that foster positive, inclusive, and classroom atmosphere, which will promote social, emotional, and academic growth. Then set high expectation by believing in them. So believe in student potential and encourage them to strive for excellence. Don't be using undermining and discouraging statements. Encourage them. Encourage them. No. These are not good language. Are we okay?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And in the teaching process, both questions, what and how, should be targeted. So a teaching method comprises the simple principles and methods which are used for instruction to be implemented by the teacher to achieve your desired learning objectives. So teaching methods are the approaches, they are the techniques, they are the strategies we use by teachers to help students learn and achieve their goals. And these methods can vary depending on the subject or the topic you are teaching, or even the age of the student, or the learning style of your students, as well as even the teacher's own philosophy and exposure in teaching. That is what we discussed from the beginning. Some of the teaching methods are these: lecturing, discussion, hands-on, project-based learning. These are all teaching methods. Inquiry-based learning, collaborative learning, flipped classroom learning. When we talk about flipped classroom learning, that's reversing the traditional lecture homework format by delivering instruction at home and hands-on activities in class. In flipped classroom teaching, the students learn the basis of the subject at home and then comes to class for deeper discussion. So if somebody is using flipped classroom teaching method, it gives some work to the students when they have not even started the topic. Then when they come, it begins the new topic, but goes back to what he gave to the students, discusses it, and bring out deeper discussion and practice and help them to apply. Excuse me, give me 1 minute. This is going on. I got myself a good thing. All right. Any question on these teaching approaches? Do you understand differentiated instruction? When we say differentiated instruction, it means you look at the learning style of your students. Some are slow learners, some are average, some are very high, some are very hyperactive, some are hypothetical. So such students, the moment you put the work there, 2 minutes they are done, 1 minute they are done. So you don't mix them up with the low learners. You give them high order tasks, then you attend to those with challenge, the low learners. So you do differentiated instruction depending on the levels of the student. So when we say differentiated instruction, we are saying adapting teaching methods to meet the needs of your various students. Focus is on catering for diverse learning needs within a group, and the emphasis is on the teacher adaptability and flexibility. Yeah, you, the teacher, must work harder when preparing your notes because you must have high order questions and low order questions that can meet the needs of your pupils. We also have what we call the personalized learning, which is tailored instruction to meet individual needs of each student. And this is focused on individualized learning and emphasizes student autonomy and choice. Those ones are usually seen outside. In Ghana, because our facilitators are not many and the students are many in class, if you try to go individual, you may not be able to achieve your target goal. But once in a while, you can attend to the individual to help them personalize their learning. You can also use technology integration. Like I said, these days, role play is also another strategy, and storytelling. So the choice of teaching methods or method to be used depends partly on the subject to be taught and also partly on the learner characteristics, depending on the type of students you have. Okay, so factors to consider when selecting teaching methods. 1, the subject matter to be taught. 2, the nature and the characteristics of the learners. 3, the objective to be achieved. 4, the time allotted for the subjects. You need also to look at the knowledge about suitable methods. If you don't have knowledge about the method you are using, please don't go for it. It will not make the learning interesting. You have seen somebody using certain approach you are not familiar with. Practice it before you go and use it. Afternoon. I don't know, but meet one way you bring buy an online. 6:30. All right. So effective teachers often combine multiple methods. If you are very effective, you can combine 2 or 3 methods and you use it in one lesson. And as a teacher, you must use methods that can assist your learners to develop critical thinking skills and the core competencies that we learned last week. Teaching methods that are usually classified if it is teacher-centered, the teacher does everything. But if it is student-centered, the teacher becomes a facilitator. So let's employ student-centered approach. Than the teacher and the student play an equal active role. They can only direct and guide. Student learning is measured through both formal and informal of assessments. You give their portfolios and you enhance participation. Okay. Any question on the teaching approach, the teacher-centered and a learner-centered? These things are very straightforward and easy. Another teaching approach is what we call the group discussion or the direct method of teaching. And the difference between direct and indirect method of teaching. When we talk about direct teaching, is the instance where the teacher places the highest priority on assignment and completion of academic activities. But when we are looking at The indirect, you discuss with the students, and on their own, they come out with new knowledge of learning. All right. We also have the lecture and explanation techniques. As we know, what I'm doing is lecturing, oral presentation intended to present information. But here, if you are using lecture method, you need a higher thinking level to bring in your students for them to be able to follow. And when it comes to mathematics teaching and you say you are using lecture method, it may create problem for your students because most of them will not be able to adapt to the new learning. So what you do if you want to use lecture method, then you have to talk more, explain more, and even that with mathematics, you need to let them work, give examples, counter examples for them to come up with it. So let's look at this direct method of teaching example. The teacher explained the tangent theorem to the class. Students understand that tangent from a common external point to a circle have the same length. The teacher then gives the class an exercise. In the tangential quadrilateral below, AD is 37, BC is 74. Find the area of the trapezium. So we use this. Can you find the area of the trapezium for us? Let me give you 1 minute to find the area of the trapezium. Victoria's here. Benjamin has put on the video, so Benjamin will answer. Okay, just 1 minute. Do the find the area of the trapezium.
So the height is not known.
Okay, so what did you get for the trapezium, the area of the trapezium?
The height is not known.
The height
They should
is
have,
not given.
they should have
Yes,
even
but
given
you
the
can find the height. Can't you find the height?
The height, no.
I've not given the area, so we cannot calculate for the height. If the area is
You have
given,
not
that is
given
what.
any angle.
I said find the area.
Yes, the formula
And we need the
for
height.
finding it. The height is not there.
Height is not there, and radius is not there.
They could have given the radius of the
Radius of the
circle.
cycle.
The question seems incomplete.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Very, very sure.
Yes, sir.
Not really sure.
Okay. If it is incomplete, then look at the solution.
Okay. Okay, x plus h is equals to that zero. Okay, 1. Wow.
You know, if it is tangential, then you can form a square.
I was
Uh-huh.
going to say.
Uh-huh.
Wow. The height.
You can use the Pythagoras theorem also to find the height.
The triangle there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can it be found now? Is the question correct?
Yes.
The question is correct.
Excuse me.
So our interest is not just the solution, but our interest is the teaching method the teacher is applying using direct method. So we want to teach the area of trapezium. Can you mute your microphone? And instead of going straight to give them the formula, everything, you give a problem. The students go search, and at the end of the day, when you provide them with a solution, they're able to do it. So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the lecture method? Work in groups. Then you have your groups already, you can discuss that. So these are some of the advantages that we have for you. It is quick, cheap, and efficient. It gives quick exposure. It facilitates large class communication, and so on and so forth. Disadvantage. Lecture method is criticized as one-way method of communication that does not involve the participation. It is passive because it's always coming from the teacher. It is not active. And it requires that the teacher possess effective speaking skills. If you don't have that skills and you are using lecture method, your students will suffer. And other disadvantages that you can add. So if you want to make lecture method effective, then follow the following activities. 1, state instructional objectives clearly and come out to your learning activities, which will not cause confusion, but will give you clear purpose of direction for your student to follow.
Come and cut.
Hello, yeah, who's saying come and cut? Do you have a question? Somebody is speaking. God's way. Do you have a question? Okay, he didn't know that he was on speaker. 3, learning activities must be appropriate for each learner, and teacher must do everything possible to ensure that he or she maximizes time. The teacher should maintain an academic focus during learning activities, and the teacher should provide academic feedback for students' work. We have said it already. And I even said that when the child scores 3, and this student used to be a poor student scoring 0, 0, 0, give the child excellent. And where there is the need to call the child to explain or make a positive comment, and if you can just show the child where he went wrong, do that. Some we mark and we don't say anything, we don't even work with them, we don't tell them anything. No, don't be quiet. Provide academic feedback for students, and you should handle discipline problems also promptly. That is to increase lecture method of teaching to become effective. And there are indirect methods of teaching, which is characterized by teacher reliance on asking questions, assessing student feelings, acknowledging student ideas, and giving praise and encouragement where it's needed. It promotes active learning, students of open-ended questions. Group discussions must also be used when it comes to indirect method. Studies have shown that students of indirect teachers learn more and have better attitude towards learning than students of direct teachers. And cons of the two, you understand. Example of indirect teaching method. Teacher guides the student to explore tangent to a circle like the question. Student draw tangent from an external point. Student notice that the tangent lengths are equal. Student hypothesize that tangent length from an external point are equal, and these conjectures are able to make when, especially it is an inscribed circle to a quadrilateral, where you can have a square. Then you are able to use those things to prove. So the child draws a circle himself or herself. The tangent PAP came from an external point, and having gone through all those things, you're able to make connections and find the corresponding parts. So this is it. The activity we tried answering can use the same way to teach it. So you realize that AD plus BC is equal to AB plus DC, because it's an inscribed. So if you give the question, they will use this idea that they know previously to answer the new question, and they'll be able to get it clearly. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's continue. Let's take this example on transformation. Using the direct method, students are taught rotation of points or objects by providing them with formulas: 90 degrees, 180, 270, and 360. So in the examination, when students are asked to rotate a given point through 60 degrees clockwise about the origin, none of them will be able to do it because the teacher used 90, 180, 270, and 360 without using the construction method. So it becomes difficult. But if the child is able to understand the clockwise 90 and rotate a point, then when it is 60 we're able to do so and measure with the 60 degrees and be able to do same if it is not about the origin or about a point. Then you repeat the procedure, then you now generalize. But you just go straight. When you rotate about the origin, xy become yx. It becomes difficult for the students. We can give so many examples. For instance, area of a sector. Once it is part of a circle, you start teaching the students how to find the area of a circle. Okay, semicircle is half, so half of the whole circle. So quadrant is 1/4. So 1/4 of the whole circle. So if a full circle is 360, half of a circle will be 180 over 360. Then quarter of a circle will be 90 over 360. In that case, when you introduce the formula that to find area of a sector, it is the angle subtended at the center over 360 times pi r squared. That child would understand. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before you come to the formula, you take them through, and that is what we say indirect. You don't just quote the formula and say use it, but you develop the formula, then you help them to understand the formula. So before you come to the formula, you have taken them through so many activities, and by that they'll be able to discover the formula by themselves. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good. Any questions so far? Let me pause for questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Gloria.
Please, sir, is there difference between the student-centered or learner-centered method and that of the indirect?
Yes, we can say that the indirect way of teaching uses more of student-centered. So there is a link. But the little difference, when we say indirect has so many methods under it, and one of them could be the student-centered approach. And when we come to the direct, even the direct, you can use student-centered. Okay, even though it is direct, but how you are going to employ your activities will make it student-centered. But we see the indirect to be more of student-centered, because that one, you don't just give the formula, but you enable the student to develop. It becomes more of relational learning than instrumental learning.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So some, like you asked, some specific methods for teaching mathematics. We shall focus here using problem solving up to brainstorming. There are more. We are not saying these are the only methods. There are more. So let me give you 10 minutes to go through these methods. Then I will come with questions. So just jot down some points on these teaching methods that we have. Problem solving. So let me do it simple. I'm even showing you some of the things already, like the polyar. So go through 10 minutes, then we'll come back to discuss the polyar problem solving process. Just 10 minutes. I'll get back to you in 10 minutes. All right.
Okay, sir.
Are you done? Are we through?
Yes, sir.
Hello, my people. I should give you 5 minutes more. Okay. So 5 minutes more, then I'll call out names and ask the specific questions.
Once I change, culture, I change it. I change it.
Please, are we on break?
No, we are given a
No,
task to do.
we are.
We're doing what? Please, I can't hear you, please.
Hello, I said we were given a task to do. We are almost done with it. So soon come.
Oh, really? Network problem for me here.
All right. Now I'm sure you are done. So let me go quickly to Gloria.
Hello, sir.
So in your readings,
Sir, you mentioned my name.
we're looking at, is that?
I said I'm around.
Yes. So on the problem solving, what did you read and narrate? Share briefly with us.
And the problem solving, it's like the teacher gave group assignments or individual tasks for the children or the students to come out with their own solutions. And through that, they were able to discover certain things. So I've seen probing, discovering, and then thinking. It means the students have to come together, cooperatively work, and then share ideas and to be able to solve the problem. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm here. So you can say that if the students are going to probe, they're going to collaborate with each other and to come out with their solution. It is more of student-centered.
Okay, sir.
So the teacher will only come in to guide, sort of. So once the problem is posed, the students are to go search. It's more of research.
Okay, sir.
So here, what is the role of the teacher? The teacher becomes a facilitator. His role is to prepare and provide the task to the students. And when they have brought their various solutions, he looks at it, go through, and give back his feedback.
Okay,
So,
sir.
under problem solving, we are saying that students undertake investigation. And the problem for you, the teacher, let's center on the teacher. You, the teacher, must carve out the problem clearly It should make meaning and be able to explain to them to know what they are supposed to do. According to Standard 2009, she said that problem solving is a process whereby students undertake investigation of a problem, an issue, or a condition, and come out with conclusions and recommendations. And the conclusions that they will come, before they come to that conclusion, they have to probe, get into the matter. They need to discover, do some thinking, analyze, and that is what Gloria was mentioning. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And yeah, the positive reinforcement is a very important element of the problem-solving process. What do you mean by positive reinforcement? Motivation. You, the teacher, how far have you gone? I'm taking the task next week. Oh, do you have any challenge? Were you able to find A, B, C, D? Because already you know the solution to it. So you guide them, you probe, you try to motivate them, give them reinforcement. And this one, the reinforcement we are talking here is not about negative reinforcement, not any, not punishment, but intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Give them things that can motivate them to work, to increase their personal confidence. Are we okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in your readings, Justice, what are some of the strategies for solving problem?
Sir, can I come in about the problem solving?
Yes,
I want to ask, with the problem identification, is it the students who are going to identify the problems, or you, the teacher, will pose the problem for the students to go research about it and bring out their conclusions?
Yes, you, the teacher, will give the problem. But the fact that you have given the problem, it doesn't mean they have identified the problem. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Because in the question, like let's use a simple question, word problem. You have given them the task and they're able to read. But there are technicalities that they need to identify the real problem. That the sum of the ages of Kofi and the elderly sister is 2 years ago. So this problem is there. So you say you have given them the problem. But how to identify that Kofi is the younger and the elderly sister, and therefore 2 years ago, the elder one is older than this. To be able to use, so that is the identification, where the problem itself, the task that we have been given, where can we identify the problem? And that is when the child finds, then he gets it and now starts.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I was asking useful strategies for solving problems, some of the useful strategies. In mathematics, here we are centered on mathematics. We say you can use graphs, diagrams, you can use tables, you can select notations, patterns, you guess and check, restart the problem, work backwards, solve simple problems with fewer variables, check for hidden assumptions, relaxing a condition and then trying to reimpose it, decomposing, breaking down. Decomposing the problem is you are breaking it down. Yes, sir. Exploiting any previous problem with a similar form, giving or concluding on, and sometimes even you do try and error. You do this, it doesn't work then. So these are some of the strategies you can employ. But one person who worked extensively, many people have worked on it, that over the years universities have been using is George Polya, who gives a simple model for problem solving. Another person was Tyler. There are many of them. So let's look at Polya And this one, watch it carefully. It can come. Polya model for problem solving. That's why I said use 10 minutes to go through. So what does Polya says? When you are given a task or a problem, stage one, it says understanding the problem. That means read the problem and identify the unknown. 2, devising a plan or making a plan. So here you ask yourself, do I need charts? Do I need graph? Do I need diagram? Do I need to look out for a pattern? Is there any pattern I'm using? Or this question is given. Do I have to restate the problem? Do I have to use all the data or the conditions, etc.? That is devising a plan. So at this point, you are searching for possible ways to come out or unravel the solution. Then when you identify the plan, then you carry it out. When you are carrying out the problem or the plan, check each step. Then after you have solved it, look back. That is, if possible, substitute, find out whether you can get it. So check the solution obtained. Is the solution meaningful? Because sometimes you can be given a question and you get 2 answers, let's say quadratic equation, but one of them will not satisfy the equation. So you have to check the solution. That is what we call looking back. So let's look at this task. The figure below is made up of 2 rectangles and 2 right-angled triangles. Calculate the area of the shaded region. Yes, sir.
The other side of the table, you didn't touch it. Number 1, you look at them on the right side.
This table?
Yes, sir.
Yes, number 1, I said understanding the problem. What do you mean by understanding the problem? Here you read and identify the unknown. What is hidden in the problem? Okay. That is the first one. Then I also mentioned devising a plan or making a plan. And here, devising a plan, there are so many strategies. So you ask yourself, what do I need? Do I need diagram? Do I need chart? Do I need table? Or does this problem follows a certain pattern that I need to use? Do I have to restate the problem? Okay.
So that's good.
Do I have to use all the data or conditions present? You get it? So that is for number 2. When you are trying to devise a plan, sometimes you need only diagram and that is all. Sometimes you only need a chart or a table. Sometimes you need just a pattern. Sometimes you need to restate the problem. Okay?
Yes,
then when you have devised the plan, when you get a plan, you carry it out. If it is a table, then you use the table. If it is a pattern, then you use that pattern to solve. So you carry out the plan and you check each step whether the plan is going the way you understood it.
Thank you.
Then after you have found the solution, the last step, according to Polya, is the looking back. And the looking back is where I gave an example that there are some quadratic equation you solve, and at the end of the day, one solution will be the best. The other one will not satisfy it. So here you check the solution you have obtained and check whether it is meaningful or not. So you substitute, or you have solved simultaneous equation. You have.
Thank you. Let's continue.
X and Y, put them in a separate equation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's calculate the area of the shaded region. I know you can do that, so quickly let's do that. Calculate the area of the shaded region. I mean the triangle. Or we should go to the solution straight because you have it there.
To get it, well, that one is 81 centimeters square.
So you can find h, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
How will you find h? Because the area of the rectangle, the 135, that is h times y, should give you 135. That will give you one equation. Then b times x will also give you 108. So by making b the subject, you get 108 over x. And by making h also the subject, you get 135 over y. Is that clear?
Mm.
So by implication, if the area of the triangle out there is 81, then we are saying half base times the height, which is half of x, because the height of that triangle is the same as x.
Yes.
And the base of that triangle, which is 81, is that of y. So half base, which is the x, y, will give you 81. So by cross multiplication, you get xy to be 162. But the area of the shaded region is half b times h, where b is the base and h is the height. So by substitution, since you know b, you know h, you put it in. And you know xy to be 162. So the area will be 45 centimeters squared. Then you are done. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But the two, so the two multiply, okay.
You have calculator, so you can do the calculation. 108 times 135 divided by 2.
Yes.
Will give you 7290 all over x times y, xy. Then from equation 1, we have found xy to be 162. So you substitute. So 7290 over 45.
Okay. Yeah. Put this into this. So therefore, area to 45.
Okay. But you know, at your level, you are seeing it clearly. The child will have to think. So that's why you don't give them just 30 minutes. You give them maybe 2 days. Sometimes if you extend it too much, they will go and search and get it online. But even if they do that, they're still learning. What you have to probe is that, like we said, when they come at every stage, you help them to understand and you ask them to explain. When they realize that Charlie, as was said, we can't copy for him or he will ask us questions. So let us understand. So they will understand before they come. Yes. And that is also part of learning, the way they learn. They now know how to search. They now know where to go. Even some of you sometimes go to AI and AI will lie to you. You will not even verify, then you bring it.
It's true. Yeah, sometimes we're going.
I say AI, boom. AI did the say he goes to Google everywhere and you don't even Google. Small boys church or honum. So it depends on the type of information that he's picking and where he's picking it. That was the okay. So what is the area of the semicircle below? So these are some problem-solving questions you can give. And usually we give them the value of pi. So this time you can say leave your answer in pi, it means don't use 22/7 or 3.142. Just use a symbol pi to be part of the answer. And you should be able to work it out. So the radius of the smaller circle is 2. And the radius of the bigger circle is 4. So you can use Pythagoras theorem to find the arc, the radius, the smaller one and the bigger one. You can also say that let me use bigger R to represent the bigger radius and small r to represent the smaller radius, because there are 2 circles. So, and this one you can have 2 alternative answers to work it out. There are many of them. I have already sent you the slide, so you just look at it and tell me. Other than that, I would have asked you to study the task 3 and come with your answer. So I trust you people, you will not watch. So you only look at the task. 2 minutes, think about it. What is the height of a single glass? The 2 glasses is 19. The 5 glasses is 34. So the single glass would do what? So here we see a certain sequence: 1, 2, 5. Okay, so let's go on. So this is it. Let the height of one cup be x, and each of the remaining heights be h, as shown in the diagram below. So the 5 cups will be 19 plus 3h, which is equal to 34. Because 2 height is 19. So the reason why we are using 19 plus 3h, 2 height will give you 19. So we have taken 2 out, leaving 3. So the 3h. Then x plus h will be 19. Because we don't know x, which is 1 cup, plus h will be 19. Why 1h? Because 1x is taking one of the glasses. So now, from equation 1, which is 19 plus 3h is equal to 34, you can find h. Then once you find h, you can find x. Do you follow it?
Yes, we are following.
So what is x?
So, assuming, so if
So to
h
use
is,
the first equation, 19 plus 3h is equal to 34.
yes,
You're going to get 3h is equal to 34 minus 19.
19 minus 34 will be what?
Yeah, 5.
Then we substitute it here.
No, so 34 minus 19 gave you what?
Yeah, I
15.
got 5.
So h is 5. So if h is 5, then it means x will be 14.
5. So, yes. 5 from 19 is 14.
So you see, when you do this, it makes mathematics very interesting for them and they're able to think. These are problem-solving strategies. And here, you, the teacher, has to sit down to come out with these questions. So, so that is where your problem will come, your task. But after you have unraveled or gotten the problem for them, the rest, they go and work it. Then you guide them. So what are the advantages of problem solving? List 3 advantages and disadvantages.
To encourage
The
students
common advantages here.
independent thinking.
Good.
Leads
After
to
independent thinking, what again?
it
It leads to
leads
an in-depth
in
understanding.
Collaboration.
Good.
It is activity-based.
It brings about collaboration. It also leads to logical thinking.
yes.
So it encourages the learner to reason and to pass judgments.
Also self-discovery.
Exactly. Able to
Understanding
discover yourself.
becomes permanent.
So you become independent and learning become permanent to you because you found it. Okay, so there are some you can add more. Then the disadvantages. There are 5 here. Gloria, read.
Time consuming.
Which you
Too
don't
much
like
time.
at all. And
We
that is
don't like it at all.
they say it takes time. They will not
Too much
cover. We will not cover. You will not.
It may
Quickly
be
we
very
provide the solution. We are
frustrating.
going to the next stage.
So it takes great deal of teachers' effort. That is in preparation, time, and imagination. The outcome of the lesson may not be achieved if the teacher's preparation is not adequate. It can take up a lot of time. It
Yeah,
can
you
only
cannot.
be used with students who are already able to take responsibilities. If your students are careless, forget. Yes.
You cannot finish your syllabus, class.
Inability to achieve the answers may also result in a lack of motivation. Another wahala. Now I give you this one I'm going to share.
Cooperative.
Emil, look at the cooperative learning and tell us. Read it quickly. And the cooperative learning. And let's go on teaching.
Yes, possible.
So when we come, you only give us a summary, 5 minutes. Is that clear?
Yes,
I don't want to be reading for you. I want you to consume it. So ladies are reading on expository teaching method, and gentlemen are reading on cooperative. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we should be done. The rest of the teaching methods, you will go and we'll discuss.
But all the slide cannot be shown. Only the expository is being shown.
I've sent the slides to you. You don't have it, eh?
I have it.
Or it's on the same phone.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. The phone we are using.
So you're fine. Okay. Shewa's hand is up. But you can still do that. Shewa, let's hear you.
We can still do it.
Mother, let's hear you. Your hand is up.
No, sir, then it's a wrong hand.
Oh, okay. So you can discuss just 5 minutes or 10, then we go through.
Hello. Hello, sir. Now phone.
Sir, we are here. Oh.
It's 4 o'clock. Oh. 5 past 4.
Oh, so we will close for.
Let's do 30 minutes. Let's do 30 minutes at touch.
Oh.
Our ladies will be cooking for us. Oh. Our
Yeah,
wives.
the ladies will cook. So, Justice Losu, come out with your findings, your readings. Yeah, Justice, lead the man. Yes.
Sir, the cooperative learning is a method of teaching where learners are put into groups.
Good.
And then the teacher gives them guidelines that they need to follow. And then as they work in group, each member of the group brings out his or her idea. And informing the group to the teacher put the higher achievers and then the low achievers together, or miss. We have what we call mixed group.
So that is what mixed ability group. Mixed ability group.
Ability group together. So each learner benefits from each member's idea. So
Yes.
that is what I have read.
And what are the advantages?
And after the group, they do group presentation to the whole class. They share their ideas that they have with the whole class. And one advantage of cooperative learning is that it motivates learners as they come out with answers on their own. And it also the teacher also, or the teacher serves as a facilitator in cooperative learning.
Okay, students also develop their leadership skill.
Yes.
Yes.
And this one that I mentioned, we didn't add them.
Teamwork.
Good teamwork.
Yeah, there's a teamwork. And so you know that I like this method of teaching, that this cooperative, this in a group of students to giving them tasks, because I quite remember in my class I find some students in a very big table, and a question was posed in the sometimes I put question on the board and I ask them to solve, because they are in the same table. I just sit back and observe my students, and I could see that why they are challenging their answers. Yes. So at the end of it all, no, unless you see that they will come to a consensus that no, this should have been this should have been this. So this method is a very good method. I think teachers should adopt.
Exactly.
It's time for Zubino.
But look at the limitation. The method requires more careful organization and management skills from the teacher.
Yes.
And it demands a careful pre-planning and investment of time and resources in preparing materials. So when it gets there, don't run. Do it well.
The resources.
The implications. It promotes cooperation among students. As you have said, teamwork is encouraged. Students learn to accept responsibility. That is leadership. It reinforces understanding. Each student can explain to other group members. It also calls for a change in teacher's role from the leader to facilitator. an initiator. So let's hear from our ladies. Gloria, how are your people? Gloria.
Hello, sir.
Yes, what did you also read about expository teaching?
So the little I've read on it is expository method is a direct instruction which is usually used by teachers, and they
Like the
come
lecture
in.
or demonstration?
Yes, lecture method, like the lecture method. The teacher comes in, introduce the lesson to the learners with an intended concept that is supposed to impact on the learners.
Good.
Yes, so when it happens that way, the teacher will try to present the lesson in a way that the children or the learners can make connections on their own to grasp the concept. For instance, if you are going to teach number names, children already know the symbols for the various numbers. So that one, you just present the numbers to them, then you add a little on it so that they will know how to spell the words. The teacher will now guide them in the coming out to know how to spell the individual words, which will give it the number name. So for instance, if you are going to teach the number name for 5, the child already perceive 5 and can picture 5. So you only guide the child to now come out with the spelling of the number 5, and it goes on and on like that. So with the expository method, which is more or less very direct to the learners, the advantage there is that it helps the teacher to spend less time on it, because mostly when you engage the children to do anything, they end up consuming all your time. But when you are doing it yourself and they are listening, then it makes you beat or manage the time given to you to deliver your lesson. That's one advantage of the expository method. Another advantage is that to the learners, those who are very, those who can hear very well, it will be of an advantage to them, but to be of disadvantage to those who have listening problem. Because if they are not able to understand or listen very well or get the words you are saying, they will not be able to understand anything from the lesson. That's the little I can say about it, sir.
That is good. So the merits and the demerits are there, but I want to draw attention to two key things that you need to know, especially when you are transmitting information through expository method. It can be deductive or inductive. When we say deductive means you teach from the general to specific. You teach from the general to the specific. For example, you want to teach the number of subsets that can be formed. Somebody can start from the how many subsets can be formed if it's an empty set, 1. If it is a unit set, 2. If it is 2 members in a set, then it will be 4. If 3 members in a set, it will be 8. Then having done the general thing like that, you now come to the specific by saying that to find the number of subsets, you use the formula 2 exponent n, where n is the number of elements in the set. So this one you have used deductive. You use general to specific. Then if you are using inductive, then you would rather now take the rule. So deductive, you mention the rule and they use the rule with specific examples. But when you use examples to come out with a rule, then you are using inductive. So deductive, DE, deductive is teaching from general to specific. And inductive is teaching from specific to general. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then when Gloria spoke, she didn't talk about the merits, some of the limitations. Here,
Yeah.
the teacher, yes.
No.
Okay. So for expository, the teacher is in complete control of every aspect of the lesson. And therefore, when the teacher is in control, the learners become passive, so it is not active. Retention and transfer of learning may be reduced, and it does not adequately cater for individual difference because it is teacher to student, and it can be teacher dominated, which kills the method of child-centered. So when you are using it, you have to be clear with your teaching methods. And its implication is that for expository, there are positive implications for exposition. That is a method of teaching and learning of mathematics when you try to allow people to be involved in the discussions. But if you take control, it becomes negative. When the teacher is doing everything, saying, then the expository becomes negative. Its implication to learning is negative. So let's check. That's 1, 2. If you are the type that always want to talk, then know when the children will come in, allow time, your questioning method, ask question, pause, and your questions shouldn't be ambiguous, should be straightforward, should be precise and clear. In your exposition, to make sure you add formative assessment. As you go on, you ask them questions. Then we can talk about the constructivist techniques. And that's also a method of teaching, which is student-centered. And for constructivist technique, it encourages exploration and discovery. It's more of activity method. We also have what we call the guided discovery, pure discovery. They are all under constructivist approach. So you try to read on and get the understanding. Let me find out those who had issue with any of the readings so that I can explain. Or some have not even read.
So the constructivist approach,
Okay.
is it not the same as the problem solving approach? Because the little explanation you have given, it looks as if it's just like the problem solving approach.
Yes, Afro-constructivism is a philosophy, and it is problem solving is under constructivism.
Okay.
You know, we have the constructivists and we have the behaviorists. But the constructivists are those who say that let learners take charge of the learning. And if you take problem solving method, is under constructivism.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay. In fact, investigation, guided discovery, they are all under constructivism. Once you give priority to the student to orchestrate learning, then it is constructivist. All right. That's a good question. Any other? Any other? I don't have any other question. Any other question, my people? No question. Hello.
Hello,
No
sir.
question, sir.
Hey, you want to go home early?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, what about the investigation? Do you have any question on that?
Sir, we haven't reached there. We are yet to read on them.
Oh, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let me quickly take you through, since you have not read. That's why I sent you the slide before. But last week I said read so that when I come, you can ask questions. So teaching method called investigation. The idea of an investigation is fundamental both to mathematics study and understanding of the ways in which mathematics can be used to extend knowledge to solve problems. It is one of the best form of discovery method. As its best, students will define their own problems and set procedures and type and try to solve them. Investigation is more like what at your age you do research. You identify a topic and you try to write on it. And it's a method of teaching or learning, so you can apply it in your classroom. So we will end here. We are getting to slide 120. There are 17 more left. Read on it. They are all on method of teaching. The approaches. And when we say somebody knows how to teach, what is the best teaching method? With the few that you have discussed, which one would you say is your best teaching method? And why? Gloria.
Hello, sir.
What is best teaching method? Your best teaching method?
Sir, the differentiated one.
Oh, okay.
Because it takes everybody.
Okay. Abdallah, what's your best teaching method? Yes, Justice.
Sir, to me, there is no best teaching method because what you want to teach.
You saw my answer.
Sir, oh, sir, your answer, yes, but sir, I want to give my reason.
Okay, give.
Well, your answer.
Yes, the content or what you want the student to know will demand what method you should use.
Exactly, that is good. So that is what we said from the beginning. Thank you, Justice. Because it is the topic that you are going to teach. And sometimes the environment, sometimes your best teaching method may be using technology. What about you are posted in a village where there is no network, there is no computer? So it will depend. So there is no such thing as best teaching method. And you can even combine 2 or 3 methods in the same teaching. So the best teaching method is the one that works, the one that yields results. Is that okay? And the best methodology is to mix teaching methods, mix them where it's necessary. The teacher starts the lesson off with visuals and a short lecture, and then the class discusses the material by asking and answering questions. So here we are mixing. The students are given guidelines. You are using guided discovery to follow an assumption or prompt them that they are to do A, they are to do B. Then after everything is put in place, students are given the freedom to discover things around them. So you are combining different methods. So always remember, tell me, I will forget. Show me, I will remember. Involve me, I will understand. But how can you involve the student when you have not told the student? How can you involve the student when you have not shown the student? So you use the first two to build the last one, which is understanding. So when you are involving students, you are telling them something, you are showing them something, and you are causing them to do something. The same thing I say, when I see, I forget. When I do, I remember. Remember these Chinese proverbs. So there is no best teaching method. Don't forget that question though. It can come.
Okay, sir. It will come.
Not that it will come, it can come. Learning is an active process. So we must actively engage our students in learning activities if we want them to learn what we intend them to get. So whatever you plan to teach it in a way that will sit well with them. Use varied activities that involve hands-on mind on learning. The more senses that are involved in learning, the more and better learning becomes. Employ methods that make use of multisensory aids. When we say multisensory aids, things that will touch their sense of seeing, feeling, hearing, and their sense of experience. So the eye, the nose, the ear, the hand, and the skin. You know the senses. And as you do that, they will be able to embrace the teaching and learning comfortably. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Another principle in determining teaching method is learning is meaningful when it is connected to students' everyday life. So make your questions practical and make your classroom too free of threats. Free of threats. Some math teachers, you are coming, the first time I come into class, what my brain, who can I buy? Consent? In my class, you can't do anything. No. Hey, teacher. Comfortable. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. We are there.
I thought you were not hearing me.
Sir, we are with you.
Oh, okay. Another thing is that emotions has the power to increase retention and learning. So let your students have good emotions. Get connected to you. Think good about you. Feel good when you are around them. The more emotionally involved our students become in our lesson, the greater the impact. Touch them, their senses, their emotions. Let them know that you think about them, not only their mathematics, even their moral life. Sometimes along your teaching, you chip in some advice. Oh, teach the way they are doing your own, or 3 and 4, or you say, now they are back. Mental 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, with your cane. So be careful. Good teaching goes beyond recall of information. our teaching should reach the level of application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So the student should be able to analyze at the end of the day when a question is asked and what you have taught the child. 7, an integrated teaching approach is also far more effective than teaching isolated bits of information. Put things in context and integrate them, link it to others. Teaching method is integrated when it considers the multiple intelligences and varied learning styles of students. So an instructional approach that will cater for the low, average, and high ability must be employed. And that will help you. Know the learning abilities of the student, low abilities, high abilities, and average learners. So low abilities learners are less likely to be concerned with such matters that do not directly relate to their needs. They always want something that relates to their needs. So when you are giving examples and you are in a classroom, be sure that these people are also there and give them tasks that are at their level. If students are allowed their own way, for a long period, they will send it back. So make sure you are always with them. Anger should be directed at the product of the student's efforts, never at the student in it. Never do that. I know you don't do that. Hello.
So we are with
Sir, we
you.
are here.
We are listening.
Okay. So we are saying, ironically, schools may be the only treatment centers that blame the patients rather than the treatment when things go wrong. It's ironic. When you have a problem with your car, you send it to the mechanics. When you are sick, you go to the hospital. Do the doctor blame you for getting sick? Do the mechanic blame the car for getting spoiled? So why do we always blame students for being bad? Oh, man, my one part is here, they are bad. That is why you're a teacher.
Why do they always blame teachers for students' failure?
Students also blame teachers. Because you have been blaming them for not learning. Meanwhile, you are to trigger the learning in them. Okay. So that is what Shaw's 1972, he said, schools may be the only treatment center that blame the patient rather than the treatment when things go wrong. So let's keep these things in mind. Keep the students involved in activities in a classroom discussions. Use variety of activities within each class period. That is what we call the multiple embodiments. Multiple embodiments is by one of the constructivists. The principle of multiple embodiment is a Deans. He came out with that law. Use different activities and methods to teach one principle, and the student will get it. Keep the unit of work short. Relate the mathematics being studied to the life situations of the student. Set specific objectives for each lesson and try to meet them. Keep the reading difficulty of the material students use at an appropriate level. Some textbooks that we prescribe for them, if you think the language is high, you go through and prescribe the correct one for them. Use a variety of manipulative and audiovisual materials to maintain interest and provide meaning. All right. Suggestions for effective teaching of low abilities. 1. Project yourself as a forceful, confident, and concerned leader. How do you do that? Know each of your students by name. Gloria, then you mentioned. Justice Losu, that you mentioned. Peter, that you mentioned. So the students will know that Chale, Banco class, I say only medium, active or from CCR. So know each of your students by name. Determine and manipulate certain arrangements. Being alert to potential disturbance and distraction. Control your class. When we start, somebody mentioned that. Refrain from sarcasms. Be straightforward. Plan your lesson, prepare your lesson notes, and add teaching aids. Move around during the classroom. Don't be a distant teacher. Standing somewhere and always pointing. Get closer to them. Move around. Call on every student during each class period. If possible by name. Frequently ask student questions and come back to those who respond incorrectly and correct them. Probe when they are answering questions and they are not getting it. Give them guidelines to lead them, and it will help them to achieve. 2, provide activities that student can do successfully. Low ability learners need to have successful experiences. They need to get correct answers. Classroom tests should be designed so that every student is virtually assured of getting the majority of the items correct. One way of helping students to be successful is to provide them with specific objectives when you start instructing them on a particular unit, what you want to achieve. When the evaluation instruments are clearly related to their stated objectives, instruction and evaluation have a higher degree of validity in the eyes of the students, and it will help them at the end of the day to also grasp the content. Yes. All right. Note this. It is not specific rule or the size or gender of the teacher that generates order and respect in the classroom, but your expression in the face, the expression in your voice, the expression of your consistency in what you have said and what you have established is what will bring effective teaching. So in other words, it is not what the teacher says, but how she says it and the actions he or she takes. That makes a teacher an effective teacher. That brings us to the end of Unit 2. Thank you.
Sir, you have done well.
Thank you, sir.
You have done well.
All right. So we will continue, God willing, next week.
Please, sir.
Today we think separately.
The lecture is it recorded?
Is that?
Is it recorded? The lecture. I'm saying, is it recorded?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Did I let this young man to record?
It seems the recording button is on, so they have recorded.
Good.
The red, white colored icon over there.
The one I couldn't join you, but I had it on YouTube, and I was very grateful.
Oh, good. Good. So this one too has been recorded. So you go through, and if you don't understand any of the slides, you draw our attention for further explanation.
Thank you, sir.
So we will continue next week. But I'm still expecting the work. Let it come.
It will come.
You are smiling. You didn't laugh, you were smiling. So. Okay.
Sir, please, the work.
Yes.
We are at different center. We join you.
So if you don't have a partner or a group, you can do it individually.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir.
Right. Yes.
Sir, the work you are talking about is what I couldn't get. So if I can get the work, I'll do it and send.
Oh, it's on the Unit 1 slide. Do you have the Unit 1 slide?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, so you will see it. The last but one slide is there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I will send the unit 4, 5, and 6 also to you so that you can read
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
So the question is particularly, we have about 3 questions over there. Which of them are we
Answer
supposed
all.
to
Yes,
do
all
all of
of
them?
them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Any other? Okay. Until we meet again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and mothers. Today, give the fathers special food and special treats. Pray for them also.
But today,
Sir, repeat that part.
today is
Repeat
not
that part.
Mother's
Should I
Day.
repeat? I said they should
Many
give you,
happy returns to you too.
give you special treatment.
Today is not Mother's Day.
Okay.
They should
But
rather treat
sir, you
us
are
well.
laughing at the end.
We need one.
That's special treatment.
The way
Sir,
Justice posed the question, he said, repeat. That made me laugh. I don't know the type
oh,
of
okay.
treatment plans.
Treatment. We want to know the treatment.
Martha, which one will you give as a special treatment to your husband?
Sir, I will sing for him.
Okay, that will be good. Say.
I will sing for him.
When they
Happy
sleep in
Father's
the
Day.
bed, you love it. When your
We'll
wife
pray
is
for them.
for you in the bedroom, love it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Justice.